Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Retail Podcast at NRF. Now, loyalty is one of the biggest topics right now as we move into an inflationary environment with interest rates also going up, consumer spending potentially under pressure, although in most regions it is already under pressure. The most critical thing is how do you build loyalty? So today, luckily, I've managed to find Bill Swift from Brierley. And we're going to just talk a little bit about loyalty, if you don't mind, Bill, in terms of, tell me your thoughts on, the industry in itself, the innovations that are happening, and then in general about the market. What's your views on the market and the direction that it's heading in?
We've seen the loyalty industry change dramatically over the years, and our founder, Hal Brierley, was instrumental in creating many of the early programs, even back in the mid-'80s. Some of our clients back then are still clients now. But the loyalty programs have changed in a lot of different ways. The early days, really the one of the primary goals and objectives of loyalty was to recognize and treat your best customers better. And over the years, we've seen as much as 70, 80% penetration of a strong loyalty program where they have that many, 80% of their customers participating in the loyalty program. So it's not just about the best customers now. It's about treating all of your customers differently and better. But what we've seen almost dilutive in these recent years is that there's a lot of cookie cutter programs that are just stamping out, we get points and ultimately you get a reward, but they're not really changing behavior.
Yeah.
And so for us as a company, we've been in the loyalty space for a long time, both consultatively, helping clients design their loyalty programs. And also from a technology perspective, you can't implement loyalty without technology. So we've kind of actually gone back to our roots to make sure that we're engineering these programs to truly drive change in customer behavior.
How much do you think the science element of customer behavior comes into and retailers can use that? Because a lot of the times it seems the behavior of the customer in the store may be one thing, but actually picking up on that and building loyalty on that. There was a great use case. They were talking about Casey's, so I think the convenience stores, where people were going in and trying to convert them to coffee was one of their sorts of collecting data and then acting on that. But I'm curious if you've come across any interesting use cases on changing behavior through loyalty.
Like cross sale, cross product, cross category should always be a big push. So with these customer loyalty programs, you know exactly who the customer is, you know exactly what they're purchasing. And so many programs don't take advantage of that. And so there's a big opportunity to shift their spend to different categories and to drive not only incrementality in terms of different product selection that they're purchasing, but also to drive frequency. But you can't treat everyone exactly the same. You need to take the data, learn from that data, and whether it's through algorithms or people thinking strategically about how to intelligently drive incremental behavior, then that's a huge opportunity. And loyalty is positioned perfectly to help make that happen.
Is there anyone that you look at as like the gold standard, someone who's doing it really well? Maybe one of your customers or not? Is there what is the example that you would use as someone you should take a look at as that's a company or an organization that's doing loyalty really well?
We like to think of one of our clients, actually, Hertz has been around for a long time. They've changed their program up. So
what do they do?
Hertz is auto rental.
Sorry, Hertz.
Yeah. Sorry. But in the auto rental industry has changed, obviously. When we first designed that program, it was more about experience and allowing the customer to get out of the airplane and get in their car quicker. So there were no points and no structured rewards. They layered that on later.
Yeah.
But they've also, of recent, have introduced some new technology. I mean, even at NRF today, we're talking about facial verification.
Oh, wow.
As a contactless way to identify the customer. And without trying to think which phone number did I use, where's my loyalty card in my wallet? Just look at in this case, it's a kiosk or a device. Hertz did that early with their upper tier President's Circle people. You could opt in to And they did that in partnership with Clear. But not only get in your car quicker, but get out of the lot. You don't have to talk to anybody. You look at the camera, the gate goes up, and you leave. So loyalty has a weight. I mean, there's always a core value proposition around what's in it for me as a consumer.
Yeah.
But the best programs change have really a more engaging customer experience, an elevated level of experience, especially for your VIP customers. And ultimately, we gave a session this morning on emotional loyalty, and that's kind of the end game. Is you want consumers to feel that connection with the brand, and literally, be upset if that brand were to potentially go out of business, and feel that and become an advocate for the brand.
Yeah.
So that's like the three different levels that we focus on: a core value proposition, the customer experience, and then ultimately creating that emotional bond.
How complex is it for retailers to actually get a loyalty program set up? Or if I've had one for years that's just been, points means prizes or vouchers, how easy or difficult is it for me to transition to a new platform or, to...
It's typically an enterprise level project.
Got you.
A loyalty, think about the engine, it's tracking all kinds of customer behavior, and it is integrated in real time and at POS in the stores, at e-com, the mobile app. There's a lot of really important consumer-facing delivery channels that all have to kind of come together to enable those kinds of programs. So it can be a heavy lift. Where we're focused, and with this example of a facial recognition, just get your face in.
I mean, we're very used to that, like with our iPhones, right? Or Samsung devices. But yeah.
So pre-integrate those systems that really matter, so our client doesn't have to do that.
And is that something you guys do? Is that you give that to a partner?
We do it ourselves now, and this is one example. We've integrated with multiple POS systems and e-com platforms, and so it can be a heavy lift, enterprise systems integration level of effort. But to the extent that we can pre-integrate some of those really common platforms, at least, that expedites and less intrusive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got a whole load more questions, but I'm just conscious of time. So are you sort of global? Are you US based? If I'm interested in finding more about Brierley, where would I go to? And where do you operate?
We're based in Dallas, Texas, and we've been in Texas since the beginning of the company. Our parent company currently is in Tokyo. It's NRI, Nomura Research Institute. It's a technology company, so we've launched some loyalty programs with their presence in Japan. But we're primarily a U.S.-based company. We have clients in Europe and then clients in Asia. So
Hertz, right?
Hertz is in 25 different countries. So we have become a global company.
Yeah, I did say I've got more questions. Final question, I promise. In terms of industries that you feel that are ripe for moving more or heavier into loyalty, I mean, the automotive industry has been doing it for a while, but maybe not perfect. The airline industry has been doing it for a while. I just wondered, in terms of grocery, fashion, are there any industries that you feel, I don't know, there's still space for growth, or people are just...
We've been in specialty retail, fashion for a long time, started in travel, hospitality, financial services, and retail banking. We think there's a lot of opportunity in healthcare,
Right.
as it becomes more consumer based, and we have choice. And we know that there's some well-being kind of programs in market, rewarding people for their proactively getting a physical, or think to your Fitbit, giving people credit for being healthy.
Yeah.
We haven't been in that space directly, but I think there's opportunity there. And you mentioned C-Store, and we've been in the C-Store realm for at least a decade now. We think there's some techniques in C-Store to help make things easier and more seamless. And C-Store, the typical time in the store is 90 seconds.
Wow.
But there's some cool things that they've done that we could take to broader retail, or even fashion, or the grocery.
Yeah.
Make it more personal and more connected, easier to use, quicker.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I got 100 more about CDP, about the outcomes, about integration. But anyway, we're going to have to call it. Bill, thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you.